Hello and welcome to Hibs Talk. I'm your host as always, Gav. Joining me today is Stephen.
Hello.
And making his debut on the show is John. How you doing, John?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Good, aye. So, how's everyone's weekend been? What did you get up to? We'll start with yourself, Stephen. What did you get up to over the weekend?
Can't even mind. Oh,
No?
I was bowling with Dave yesterday.
Alright.
Actually.
I heard that.
He was smashed last
Aye,
night.
he phoned me. He was.
Absolutely
he's
smashed.
decided. He would have been telling you all about this if he was here. I think he's bowling again tonight. Just because of John McGinn and because of some of the goals I've scored in pre-season, he's now an Aston Villa supporter. He's in love with Aston Villa. He's in love with John McGinn. Aye, he phoned me quite drunk, telling me for ages how I had to go watch one of their goals because it was amazing. Not the one John McGinn scored, but another one. But,
Okay.
Aye, so, aye. What about yourself? What did you get up to this weekend?
Well, on Friday night I was away up to Elgin on one of the supporters' buses. Saturday was a bit of a quiet one because I didn't get in until about 2:30 in the morning. And then on Sunday I was out with the wife plotting a trip to Vietnam.
Brilliant. Aye. When you thinking of going there?
So it's going to be our 4th wedding anniversary next year, 2nd of April. Just going to double check that in my head that that's right, but in case she listens. But aye, so that's so it's going to be sort of end of March, beginning of April.
Cool.
Is when we're thinking about going.
Sounds good. I was at the Napoli-Liverpool game yesterday.
Oh, were you?
Aye, it was brilliant. It was in the Napoli end, and there was about 300 Napoli fans or something, and 65,000 Liverpool fans.
Was there genuinely that many fans?
Aye. It was completely sold out. The stadium. It was and it was. You know when, like, I don't know if you've been at Ibrox for, like, when we've won at Ibrox, and you just, when you score, you're in such a small section of supporters, and you just feel all those eyes, like, burning on your neck, staring at you, because you're just that small portion in such a big sold out stadium.
It's not always eyes, sometimes it's a cup of tea.
Well, that's what it was like. Having all the Liverpool fans kind of have their day ruined, because, you know, they had the guy doing the concert before, and they had. It was actually quite cool. He was on top of the stadium with his guitar singing, which was pretty cool. And but no, Napoli had different plans and won 3-0. It was brilliant. I loved it. Although it was quite sad because Liverpool got beat 3-0 and still done a lap of honour, kind of clapping all the fans for turning up, which is a bit weird. But I know it was kind of just because everyone had made the effort and don't get to see Liverpool very often and stuff. But
To be fair, we saw that at the end last season at Easter Road when we got beat 2-1 off Aberdeen.
Aye, true. Aye.
Who was that, Aberdeen or Hibs that you're talking about?
Hibs.
Aye. So we'll quickly fire through some news. This episode's going to be slightly different. I know mainly we talk about Hibs, but once a year we kind of like to do this, kind of run through all the teams in the league, where we think they'll finish, what their best signing is, and kind of go for there. But well, obviously we'll have a bit on Hibs in that, and then finishing up, I spoke to Billy earlier on, and me and Billy will kind of go through the Elgin game. So there's still that at the end of the podcast, but you know, with the Elgin game, we finished top of the group thanks to, you know, some stuff that happened on the Saturday. But it means we get Morton at home. So starting with yourself, John, being seeded, paid off in the end.
It looks like it. I mean, to be honest, I'm not really that familiar with the League Cup format. When Hibs played still in Albion, I had to send a few tweet outs thinking that Hibs were going to go to extra time and I was going to have to think about getting a different train home. But when someone confirmed that it was penalties and then the way that the points and things worked out, like, it doesn't really matter how the group works and the draw goes. Morton's a good draw, and you're at home. Although I was having a laugh with a couple of mates during the week there, because the last time Hibs played Morton at home in, I can't remember if it was the League Cup or the Scottish Cup, we opted to go to the pub instead, which I'll not bore you with the details of what happened later that night. But obviously Hibs got cuffed. Unbelievably, Stephen Pienaar scored for us, and I'd had no idea that he'd even scored for us, never mind against Morton. So aye, it's a good draw, and you've got to be hopeful making the next round.
How did you see that one going, Stephen?
Last time I was at home when we played Morton, we got beat 3-0 in the Championship. It was fucking shit.
Do you see that?
Sorry, I know. No, it was awful.
Do you see this one going differently though?
I hope so.
You hope so?
I hope so.
We're going to get that positivity squeezed
Just wait
out
until
you one
see
day.
my league predictions and then you'll see the positivity.
Overall, sort of recap, the group stages. I know you made the majority of games. How do you see the group stages have went for Hibs?
The way that I've been looking at pre-season and the League Cup so far, it's just been a steady progression up until that very first game against St Mirren. Getting all the players up to speed, getting game time on everyone's legs, and hopefully we can blast them away 5-0.
And one of the negatives to come out of the Elgin game was Martin Boyle went down. We don't know, they had a scan today, I found out, and don't know the outcome yet, but there is rumours, don't know how, if there's any truth to them, but there's rumours that it might be the same injuries before, which obviously kept him out for 6 months. Worrying to see an injury come back like that, if it is true.
Totally. It's horrible, but like I says, I mean, the way that this pre-season's went, I think that there's scope for us playing without him. I think they're more prepared this season for playing without him. Not that it was planned, but I think we've got a squad now that's capable of doing that. So not as worried, but obviously you'd like to see him in the team. Like, he would have been my first name on the sheet. Yeah,
fingers crossed he's all right. But you know, if it is quite a serious injury, Heck kind of said he was done in the transfer window unless unforeseen circumstances kind of change that. Do you think this could be something that could maybe make us dip our toes into the window for a loan signing or a winger or something? Or
maybe. So there's a boy at work, and everyone knows someone that's in the know. There was a guy at work that was telling me the day that he'd had a text, and it was about sort of 3 o'clock this afternoon, and there was a guy over at the training centre with some not youth players, but like kids that were there for like a sort of like a day out kind of thing. Hibs are running some sort of I don't know what you'd call it, like event for kids, like regular games where they're turning up, and he said that there was 3 guys that were playing or training with the Hibs first team that he'd never seen before.
Alright.
I could tell you what numbers they were wearing, but I had it written down earlier, but I don't know what they are now. But one of them was wearing number 43, and they said that it wasn't Sean Mackey. So I don't know if there's actually already plans afoot to get other people in, like maybe a couple of loan guys, maybe a couple of, I don't know, like younger Premiership guys. I'd like to think that Boyle's going to be fit, and he's going to stay fit, and it's maybe just like a big precaution, like let's treat him with kid gloves, and get him back fit again. But I don't know. I think like Stephen's saying, we're probably more prepared than we have been in the past. We've got a good balanced squad there. We're not too heavy in one area, we're not too reliant on one area. Yeah.
And one of the, you mentioned about, you know, loans for the Premiership and stuff. One rumour that's been going about is Fraser Hornby, 6 goals and 8 appearances for Scotland under 21. Stephen, you've been a few Scotland under 21s games. Do you rate him? Do you think he's a good forward?
Well, he scored a hat trick against Albania in the first game last season. But he's a good player. But I think I can't see him coming to us yet.
Is it just on loan? I think it was mentioned.
No, I mean, even on loan though, I think he'll go the same sort of route as Ollie McBurney type thing. They'll be looking to loan him into the Championship or League One, right. I think. Obviously at Everton, they're already looking to splash out a lot of money. I was speaking to Dave about this yesterday, 100 million or something on 2 players they were looking at. 55 on Zaha. But so obviously they bring in another player, they'll be looking to get rid of some of the younger players on loan.
That kind of blocks his first team opportunities.
100%. It'd be good if we get him. I think he's got talent, but I was saying to Dave as well, like if Boyle is out, then obviously you're saying unforeseen circumstances might look at another transfer. We need to get in another striker, in my opinion,
right?
Rather than another winger. We've got players that are capable of playing there, so I would say another striker. Hornby, if he's available, take him, but be, I think, a bit ambitious now for him.
We'll see what happens on him, but like I say, it's just a rumours I sort of thought we'd mention. Yeah, but and 2 players that won't be coming into Hibs, unfortunately, is kind of found out this week. McNulty's got his loan move to Sunderland, and Omiyonga to a Belgian team that I can't remember the name of.
Cercle Bruges.
There you go.
Does McNulty know a permanent contract?
It might have been.
I'm sure it was a 3-year deal.
Alright, fair play on. But you know, they're only at Hibs for a short time, but I think it's fair to say they really bought into Hibs. They really, you know, struck up that connection with the fans. It was really great to see. So I mean, we could sit here and moan about the club not spending money and not doing enough to get them, but I think
they join HSL though.
I think it just sort of, you know, we'll all kind of like wish them luck.
100%.
With what's the Belgian team name?
Cercle Bruges, I think, something like that.
Are they like the famous Bruges? Or is there
more
than Bruges?
That's Club Bruges.
Aye.
This is the one that finished like 12th out of 14th.
So hopefully with Omiyonga they can do a bit better, and he can keep himself in the Belgian picture, which would be good for him.
What's Malonga doing these days?
Is he at a Canadian team or something? Is he no?
Is he?
I'm sure I saw a goal he has on Twitter recently.
Aye.
Really good one.
And finally, just before we get into the predictions for the league, the fantasy football finally is a Scottish fantasy football. You know, we've been playing fantasy football for years and stuff, and it's always been the Premier League one, which we'll probably still do, to be fair, ourselves.
Dave has joined up.
Oh, you've already done it. Thanks for letting me know. But we finally have a Scottish one, and we've done a league. We're going to organise giveaways for first, second, and third. Not sure in the details yet, but we're thinking like a top or something.
We're throwing a tenner each.
That's for the private group chat. Aye, that's for us. We're not getting all 70 or it's up to 70 folk now. We've got
that's 700 quid.
I'm not dealing with that much money. So no, it's free entry before Stephen confuses people. I will put the code in the podcast description, but in case you're not wanting to look, and if you've got a pen and paper handy, the code is T1CUCLBH, and it's the Scottish Fantasy Football app. And get your team made up. If you've already done it, enter a league, and I maybe a free top at the end of the season.
You're dyslexic. Go and let me check it.
Right.
Sorry.
Thanks for that. Okay, so I think the best way to kind of run through the predictions is probably alphabetical order. Would you agree with that?
Let's keep it simple.
Aye. So we'll start with Aberdeen then, so because they've come first. So who would you say their best signing is? Running through their signings here. This is in a weird order, this thing, so I'll have to go down to Aberdeen. Aberdeen have brought in Ash Taylor, has returned. Ojo, who we know a bit about. Curtis Main, obviously at Motherwell before. Craig Bryson, James Wilson, Greg Lee, Ryan Hedges, John Gallagher, Declan Campbell, Ethan Ross, and Mikko Vitanen. So out of that, who would you say is their best signing? Start with yourself, Stephen.
Ken, when you were reading through the names, I had one, but I forgot.
It's not like I sent you the
no,
thing earlier on.
James Wilson.
James Wilson.
Aye, that's right. Aye, because they've not got Greg Stewart this time, I think he'll be their standout this season.
Do you think they're going to play him up front like he should be played, or do you think they're going to keep on playing him out on the wing? Like
should be playing 4-4-2, I think. If I was Aberdeen, I'd be playing on 4-4-2 with Cosgrove, but that's their choice. Hope they done,
And what about yourself? Who have you went for the best signing from Aberdeen?
Controversially, maybe Curtis Main. I thought he was, about 2 seasons ago, I thought he was a really good-looking striker. And then, for weird reasons, Motherwell went inside and Connor Salmon, and like one of the bad guys at his Space Jam, it just sucked all the football out of Curtis Main. There was a period there where I thought that he might actually sign, or I wanted him to sign for Hibs, but it's not worked out that way. But I think he could be a big difference for Motherwell this year.
So
what about you, Gav?
I went for Ojo.
Of course you did. That's why I asked you, because I knew very well that you would.
Ojo, I mean, I'd done a bit of looking into Ojo and sort of was kind of getting all this stuff prepared so we could talk about him on the podcast and what he'd bring and stuff. Was looking at the forums about, how kind of people talking about him. He's very much a midfielder that, sits in front of the defence but has got a bit of pace, can get teams up the pitch, can do the simple things, but he's got a decent pass on him and he's got quite a good shot on him as well, can chip him a few goals. So yeah, but seems to have an attitude problem. So
of course he does. Looked average in his first game for Aberdeen.
Aye, but no, I think he'll be a good signing. Obviously one of the only ones they've kind of spent money on, so I just realised the last 3 names that we've kind of read out there have apparently come from Aberdeen reserves, so I don't know if that counts. But anyway, we'll move on to Celtic next. Where have you... Oh, sorry, just quickly. Where have you got Aberdeen finishing in the league? Fourth.
Who knows? They're like a team fighting relegation that's challenging for the championship. Like, I don't understand them. They're one of the most awful teams to watch, I think. So I probably third.
Aye. I went for fourth.
Good boy.
Aye.
See, look at the positivity now.
So Celtic next. Let's find them. This is going to annoy me. This is not in alphabetical order. Celtic. Here we go. So Celtic haven't been overly busy. They've brought in Christoph Julian for about 7.5 million. A left back, Bolly. A supposed right back / centre back / right winger, Hadamid. Yeah, him. And Luke O'Connell from Bolton, and they've promoted Mickey Johnson to the first team, but we'll not worry about that. So out of them, who would you say is the best bit of business? John, we'll start with yourself.
Absolutely no idea. I've never heard any of them. I'm going to go for the boy that they splashed out money on, because they splashed out money on them. The other guys, no idea.
splashed out money on Edward last season. I thought he was average, like, so I wouldn't pick him.
Would they have won the league without him though?
What?
Edward. Would the Celtic have won the league without him?
Yeah.
How?
Because it was Forrest and McGregor that was scoring all their goals. That right, but the Israeli boy that they just signed, is he Israeli? I don't know.
But the thing about him is, I was listening to Talking Boz, and apparently he's a right winger who failed as a right winger, so transferred to a centre back.
But it was too good.
And has played 5 games in his career, and he's like 26 or 27. 5 games in his career at right back, and Celtic put out a thing. We've signed a right back.
To be fair, like I've watched a couple of his highlights. He looks outstanding. He's finding that Beersheba.
If you say so.
That's what I was saying to Dave yesterday as well. It's like you watched Rangers like took all the players for that Croatian team, like Katic and stuff. When they got knocked out of the Champions League, Europa League, and I'm sure that was that Beersheva maybe knocked out Celtic a couple of seasons ago for the Champions League. So I'd give him a shout. Just personal opinion.
Fair enough. So where have you got them finishing this season?
First.
I'm boring first. They'll just scrape it.
I've gone for second.
Of course you did.
And best signing, I'm going to cheat. Lee Griffiths. Because he'll be liking his signing.
Nah.
I like what you've done there.
He's got a point to prove, I think, under Rodgers, because he's a better coach, expects more from his forwards. And I think Lennon will let him play, let him do his thing, which will benefit Griffiths. I think he'll score loads of goals. I think there'll be games, Lennon, we've seen Lennon at Hibs, he likes the 5-3-2. I think he'll play that a lot at Celtic, and Edward and Griffiths both up front. Griffiths will score loads of goals.
Who's his best new signing?
Griffiths.
Nah, new signing.
What are you going to do?
New signing, guy.
I'm going for Griffiths. What are you going to do?
No, it's not happening.
Aye. So I'm going for Griffiths. So next up, Hamilton. Next up in the alphabetical order, aye. So they've signed.
I thought you were boring about Hamilton.
We'll just quickly run through them. They've signed Owen Foyne Williams, the goalkeeper, the Welsh goalkeeper, who's been at Cali. Johnny Hunt, not that one though. A centre back.
What Johnny Hunt are you thinking of?
The one that played for Reading and stuff.
No, you're thinking of No Hunt.
No, there was no Hunt, and then there was his brother that had the big hair. Oh, that was Stephen Hunt.
Yeah.
Aye. Okay. So it's no one of the Hunt brothers apparently. So
you're something that rhymes with Hunt anyway.
Blair Easton, so looking at the names, any of the names that kind of make you go, it could be a decent signing.
My eyesight's shocking, so you've got to trade them all out if you want.
Any that they kind of strike out to you?
Blair Alston, not Easton. I just remember him for his time at, I think it was Falkirk, and I don't know if it was when he was at St Johnstone. He scored an absolute screamer against Rangers, but I think he could be a good signing for them.
Yeah,
he's just one of those players that sort of floats about Scottish football, and you think he could probably do a job for us at some point, and he never ever did.
And where have you guys got them finishing?
11th.
And yourself?
Hopefully, but probably bottom 3. I mean, I know that there's a lot of people out there that want to see them relegated because they're a terrible place to go and visit and have visit. But they'll probably just stick around for another couple of seasons yet.
Joe's got them, is the only one coming in for the group that had them finishing bottom, and I'd agree with them. I think they've been floating around it for a while. I think this time's going to be the year that they fall. They've kind of been that Sunderland where they've kind of, keep on fighting off relegation. It's going to catch up with them eventually. So moving on to Hearts. Best signing,
Halkett.
I'd agree with you there. I'd go for Halkett as well. They're up the top, which is nice and easy. They have signed Connor Washington, Craig Halkett from Livingston. They've re-signed Jamie Walker from Wigan, and Andy White, a left back who was without a club.
And Stephen Naismith.
No yet.
Is he no sign?
No, I think they're waiting until after a certain date or something, so they don't have to pay compensation.
Sounds
to
about
Norwich.
right for Hearts.
So
is he not due some sort of PFA payment or something?
Something like that. I don't know the details of it, but yeah, they're holding off on making the deal official. But he's been training with them for weeks, so it's just a matter of time. So who do you see the best bit of business?
Probably Jamie Walker or Craig Halkett, because one of them will win them a bunch of penalties, another one will probably just be like another Christoph Berra or what's his name, John Suter. Just one of those big hammer thrower centre halves.
And the thing about Halkett, he was captain at Livingston for a reason. He wasn't just captain because he was one of the better players. He was captain because he was a leader and he organised that defence. He made Lithgow and that better players that were people around him. He improved them. He really was quite a leader at the back. So if I'm honest, I kind of surprised he's at Hearts. I thought he would have got a better move than that because I think he's better than Hearts.
Well, the only other club that was really in for him was us. And he chose Hearts. So. Thanks, Cav.
No, but I mean, there was I don't understand why his agents not done a better job getting him a move to Celtic or Rangers or down in the Championship or something.
Easy move and cash.
Maybe. So where have you got them finishing?
7th.
Probably about the same, top of the bottom 6, bottom of the top 6.
Joe's the only one that's kind of agreed with you in terms of 7th outside the top 6. Everyone else has gone for Callum's went for 6th, Billy's went for 5th, so's James, and Stuart and Dave have also gone for 6th. So next
I did choose 7th, just double checking.
I wouldn't swear, but you've gone for it now.
Aye, 7th.
So funnily enough, next up, Hibs talk. Are going to talk about Hibs. Stephen, we kind of done, I can't remember who you went for actually, but we kind of talked about best signing Hibs had made a few weeks ago. Since then we've signed Vela. Are you sticking with who you said before, or
who did I say before?
I don't know. I was hoping you could remember.
That'll come with me. Adam Jackson, I said before.
Right. Okay.
Maybe no now because obviously Porteous is coming back. Will Jackson start every week? Dave seems to think so.
I think so. I think it'll be him and Porteous.
It would be good if it was, but nah. Vela made a difference. I don't know what the formation will be though, because obviously he's a holding midfielder. So I don't see him playing every single week, especially if we're playing teams like St Mirren. I think he'll be pushing more attack. So obviously, and this is a discussion that we had last week, Gav. You can't take Malin out of the team, player of the year last season.
Played all 4 games in the cup.
Well, that's it, exactly.
All 90 minutes. But I mean, we've seen Vela play in a 4-4-2. He played him and Malin with the 2 central midfielders. So, who is he a contender for the best signing, or who have you gone for Hibs best signing?
Vela, aye, definitely. Having seen all of the pre-season games so far, I wouldn't say Hibs toiled against the other teams. I mean, I know that a lot of people have sort of suggested that, but I'm still of the mindset that Hibs are up on this plan to get, be all guns firing, all guns blazing, whichever way you want to say it, come the game against St Mirren. And when you see the team before Vela and after Vela, he's definitely added a different dimension to that midfield, and he's allowed a couple of other Hibs more creative players to play. He just makes the midfield a different entity altogether. Yeah,
I'd agree with that. Where you having Hibs finish?
3rd.
I'd love to see them win the league. I really would. And I know I said earlier that Celtic will scrape a boring title win. But aye, Hibs will be in there. Hibs will be top 3 at some point. Aye. If it can be first, brilliant. It would be, beyond their expectations. But aye, top 3, definitely. Top 3. Chasing European football again. Aye,
definitely. I agree with you. 3rd. James has also went 3rd, as has Joe, Stuart, Dave, Billy and Callum all had Hibs finishing 4th. Okay, so next up we've got Kilmarnock. Pretty quiet so far. I mean, they've signed El McCreaney, a defensive midfielder from over in Holland, and a goalkeeper from Juventus. And that one's on loan. So nothing exciting. Fair to say, I mean, we'll no bother going into the best in that, but fair to say Kilmarnock fans are a bit frustrated at the moment.
So they should be. Been horrendous this pre-season.
European football venture.
Was that a European football adventure? They went down to Wales and go up to back up the road. So, nah, I wouldn't say it was a European football adventure. And
if I'm not wrong, I'm sure I forgot his name. The Italian manager is the current favourite to be the first one to get sacked in the sack race.
Aye, I was having a look at him earlier because I never heard his name before, but he seems to have a bit of good pedigree in Italian football, but. Having a good pedigree in Italian football and coming to the bonkers world of Scottish football is a completely different ballgame. Despite it being an absolutely same ball game at the end of the day.
It was quite a strange one. I mean, like you say, high caliber manager has been in his first management post, but I mean, the places he's been an assistant manager, you think it'd be a good fit and stuff, but I mean, he doesn't speak English. He's no really got much experience over here, if at all. Do you think Kilmarnock would have been better going for a safer pair of hands, somebody that knows Scottish football, somebody more in the mould of Stevie Clark?
Maybe that's the thing. Like, the boy looks like, based on his Wikipedia profile anyway, he looks like an Italian Steve Clark in terms of his past positions. I mean, I kind of like the fact that they've gone for someone a wee bit different, like try to break the mould a wee bit. But at the same, because you don't want to go down the sort of tired route of I don't know, Jim Jeffries is maybe a wee bit old now. I know Jimmy Calderwood's got his health problems and what have you, but you didn't want to go for it. You want to have someone new, someone different.
Aye.
And they've maybe just gone a wee bit too different. But time will tell.
I know, obviously, in the last few seasons of being in the top six, with the third place finish last season. Aye, they did tip Aberdeen to third, didn't they? Or did they finish fourth? Doesn't matter, but they've been in the top six anyway. Out of the sort of the group chat with all the writers and stuff, Joe was the only one to have them finish in the top six. Would you have them in top six this season?
No.
Where did you go for?
8th, I think.
8th, and yourself?
I don't know. Honestly, don't know. I mean, last year they had a really good they had 2 really good seasons, progressed for 2 seasons ago to last season when they got European football at the end of it. But this year, with the bad start they've had, you kind of look at it being, it could go one of 2 ways. It could be a blessing in disguise that they've got European football out the way and they just have like another really good year in the SPL.
I did say 8. I said 6. Sorry.
6. You've got them in top 6. Right. Okay.
Aye. Or they just implode.
Aye.
Like, I mean, I think that's part of the funny Scottish football. Like, that's how bad it can go for some teams at times.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens with them. Next up, Livingston. Best signing. So I'm quickly going to run through the signings. If you've got your signings there off the top of the hand, well, I'll look up the rest of them. Marvin Bartley. Stephen?
I've not got anybody.
So they have signed Nicky Devlin, the
Aberdeen boy.
Nah, the
was
one from Walsall. You're thinking the one that was at Hamilton and still at Aberdeen. They've signed Marvin Bartley, obviously. Robbie Crawford from Ayr United. Some other boy, I'm not going to try and pronounce his name, but he's a left back. Suda, and who else have they got? I think that's kind of, and they've got the goalkeeper on loan, obviously, to replace Thing who left, and Pepe, a centre back. So out of them, who kind of seems like a good bit of business? You said Marvin Bartley, Stephen.
That Robbie Crawford is a good player. He'd done well for Ayr United, but I think obviously Bartley's the standout, just because he came first.
And just because he's Marvin Bartley.
He's Marvin Bartley. And I mean, I put out a tweet, my best mate's a Livy fan, and he put out a tweet, he texted me, and I kind of quoted his tweet, his text message, sorry, Marvin Bartley's debut. He was like 10 minutes in, and I love him. He's just so infectious. He's just... And I mean, I know he's older and stuff, and it's a 3-year contract, and he's going to be doing coaching stuff off the back of it. But I think the Hibs will miss him in the changing room off the field, and I think he'll be such a great signing off the field, as good as he is on the field.
He's not a fantasy football choice.
No,
just like Fontaine isn't a fantasy football choice.
You're laughing because I went for Fontaine in the back eye. That one was a wee bit head over heart there.
Heart over head, mate.
That's what I said. That's what I meant. Everyone kind of went for 8th, 9th or 10th for Livingston. Nobody's got them in the relegation playoffs. Nobody's got them getting relegated. Nobody's got them getting top 6. So kind of just a boring season. Motherwell, on the other hand, a lot of people tipping them to have a good season. Dave, Callum, Joe, Stuart and James all having them finishing in the top 6.
What about me?
I'm getting to that. I'm doing it in a bit different order this time. So they've all got them finishing in the top 6. Do you agree it could be a good season for Motherwell?
5th.
Right, you've gone for 5th.
Yeah.
Why do you think it could be a good season for them?
The pre-season, they've been class. They're scoring goals for fun, and they've been good at the back. Not as good as us. But
what were you saying? What do you think Motherwell could have a good season on their hands?
They got rid of Connor Salmon, so that's a good start. I was having a look at some of the names of the boys that they signed, and one of them was Casper Sloth, and I really hope that he's either like really, really, really slow or just like Ivan Sproul levels of pace. But other than that, I don't really know much about him. I know that the boy Sherwin Seedorf, he's been getting a bit of press.
Yeah,
he seems to be getting folk excited.
Clarence, his son.
Is it genuinely his son?
Yeah. Two they've signed, because they've signed him and they've signed Devante Cole, who's Andy Cole's son as well.
That's right.
So
away you go.
So surely one of them will come good. Declan Gallagher as well is a good signing.
He's my pick for this season, I think.
Good player. Good. Was part of the reason that Livingston were so successful at
if
the
he
back.
stays out of jail, he's fine.
He's got a bit of a reputation. And obviously has been in jail. There's no getting away for that. It's a fact. But he's truly good signing. Again, one that I thought could do a bit better than Motherwell, but he'll be a good signing for them. Okay, so we're moving on from Motherwell next to Rangers. Like I said earlier, I had them finishing winning the league. So did Callum. Everyone else had them second. Where are you guys having them?
Second. He just says everybody else.
I don't know.
I mean everyone else in the group chat. I've not seen yours yet.
You have seen mine.
Oh, you sent it. I didn't look at it though, because I was waiting to hear your answers now on the podcast. Second. John, what about yourself?
Who knows? I know that they had some sort of like bother with the court case recently with Sports Direct, so I don't know. They've spent have they not spent quite a bit of the boy on Elmander?
Aye.
But who knows whether I don't know if he's still within his 14-day warranty for returning them, getting their money back, but because they might need it soon. But I think with the resources that they've got, they should probably finish second. Although like Celtic, I think obviously with them being, they're maybe just getting a wee bit bored of winning all the time. So you never know. Like Rangers might sneak in and win the league, but hopefully no. It'll be their first title, that's for sure.
Helander apparently cost $3.5 million. So yeah, they're definitely spending money. They've also spent apparently about £700,000 on Edmundson from Oldham. So that's two centre backs costing over $4 million. They've completed the transfer of Stephen Davis, Jake Hasty from Motherwell, who seems a bit of a waste of a time. Jordan Jones as well from Kilmarnock, Greg Stewart from Birmingham, and who's the other one? Aribo from Charlton.
Shea Ojo.
And Ojo, yes, is also came from Liverpool on loan. So, best signing out of them?
Ojo.
You impressed with him in pre-season?
Been class.
He does
best
look good.
Player by a mile.
I've got him in my fantasy football team. He does look a real prospect. What about yourself?
Probably just because I've seen him play. The boy Jordan Jones. He's just a really good player.
Do you think he'll get into that Rangers team? And
probably no. Like it smacks to me a wee bit of the signings that they used to make, where they just used to buy, like I don't know, like say Kenny Miller off Hibs, and then they'll never play him in the League Cup. So I don't know how much game time he'll actually get for Rangers, especially with some of the boys that they've got in for elsewhere. You know, the Liverpool players and whatnot. I don't know exactly their positions, but I can imagine that Jordan Jones will get relegated to bench time.
Probably.
I feel sorry for that Glenn Kamara that they signed for Dundee, because he'll not get a game.
I disagree. I think he's a starter. Because I was so impressed with him in the last sort of few games of the season. He was a big reason they won. Was it all their games they won?
Who would they start with? Who would they start ahead of? Because Ojo will play ahead of him.
He's a winger.
And then you've got Aribo in midfield, Scott Arfield in midfield.
I don't know. They've got options, which is why I think they'll win the league. Because they've also got a good manager. But anyway, Ross County. Stuart's the only one to have them finishing bottom. How do you think it's just sort of a consolidation season, just finishing above? Where have you guys gone for them?
Might be. I mean, they might have that same sort of bounce as Livingston did last year when they started. Started off, I think they were maybe like running second to Hearts for a while, and then just like gradually dropped off towards the end. So I'd probably do about the same, if not just sort of sit above the bottom three for a while.
Would you? Eighth, aye. We'll see what happens with them, and obviously, big Liam Fontaine in there, so hopefully gets me hopefully scores loads of goals and gets me loads of points from fantasy football team.
Brian
just
Graham.
none against Hibs.
Has Liam Fontaine ever scored?
I don't know. I think he has. Aye.
Scored more goals than Bartley.
That's true.
St Johnstone. I mean, a few weeks ago, I started to think here they could have some season because they were linked with Stevie May and Jason Cummins. And I know Stevie May's no worked out for him for Aberdeen, but if somebody can get him playing again, it would have been Tommy Wright. But apparently that's not happening now. Jason Cummins linked with Hearts today.
Oh no.
So we'll see what happens there. But hopefully he does go to St Johnstone. I'd much rather see him at St Johnstone than Hearts for
I'd rather
obvious
just see
reasons.
him at us.
If you say so. Billy has suggested they can finish in the top 6. Can you see them finishing in the top 6?
Aye, they'll finish 6th or 7th. They'll just sit around mid-table.
Yeah.
Aye.
Stephen,
But they'll still take points off of Hibs.
what do you think?
10th.
10th? Do you think it's going to be a bad season for them?
100%. If you can't get ahead of Forfar in your group in the League Cup, you're struggling.
Aye.
They've not got a goal scorer.
Well, I mean, they're not done the business. I think, but what if Jason Cummins signed for them? Would you change your opinion then? If you seem to think he's good enough to come back to Hibs?
I think he'll score goals for them, but they'll still concede more than they score. You need to score more than you can concede.
They've been quite quiet in the business, transfer business so far. They've signed Parish, whose contract was up at Dundee, the goalkeeper, Wallace Duffy from Celtic Reserves, a right back, and Madis Vaham, a centre back.
Whoever he is.
Whoever he is. So yeah, probably I don't know if he's. I don't know. I'm not going to bother pretending I know something about him. They've done business. We'll see how they turn out. And finally, St Mirren. It's been a bit sort of, Stubbsy started with them last season. That didn't work out. They sacked him. They brought in the Irish boy.
Was his name Kearney?
Aye. He's now moved on. They were in the playoffs last season. Jim Goodwin's now in charge. It's not been a great start. They kind of started. They were kind of 3-0 down to somebody in the cup, which was quite embarrassing. But they turned it around a bit. But still, I think they finished 3-2 or something. But anyway, I should have done more prep on that. So how do you see St Mirren doing this season?
Bottom half. Like they're not going to do anything in the top half of the table. I don't think anyone that's chasing for Europe or the title is going to have to worry too much about them.
Yeah. Everyone has went for them to be either relegated or in the playoffs. So do you agree it's a
12.
tough season ahead? You've gone for 12th.
100%.
Yeah. So I mean, funnily enough, we play them on Saturday. So that kind of ties in quite nicely.
Well, they've got to get one win in the season, eh?
So how would you have Hibs set up for the game? We've seen, the Elgin game. They've played 4-4-2.
3-5-2 for me.
We've still not seen Hecky play 3-5-2, but you want to see this 3-5-2
I want
played.
to see it.
Aye,
I want to see it.
fair enough. How would you set up?
I could get on board with that 3-5-2 as well. Actually, definitely got 3 really good centre halves there, and you've got probably James, Mackey, Horgan can all easily play out in the wings together. And if you can get Vela, Malin, Allen in the middle of that midfield, then it's just goals for Doidge and Canberra up front.
Interesting information, I think, I have to say, I think Flo and Doidge kind of linked up well at times, so there might be a wee partnership there to stick with 2 up front. I'd either go 4-4-2 or the 4-5-1 and get men in midfield, but
They just need Allen sitting behind both of them.
And the 3-5-2 does that.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing is, obviously, like you've not got Gray now, you've not got Stevenson now. So look at your centre backs. Hanlon, is he picking up or not? Because he picked up.
No, he was just getting rested against Elgin,
so
he's
there
fit.
you go. So you've got Hanlon, Jackson, and McGregor starting as your centre backs.
Fair
A couple
enough.
of weeks down the line, Porteous will be in there, I think. So.
So you mentioned Scott Allen there. It's his first league game back. Obviously, he's played in the League Cup himself. But how good is it to have Scott Allen back?
Is there words? Is there words for it? So good.
And Stephen, you sort of mentioned you think he's best sort of playing behind 2 strikers.
Definitely.
Where would you see the best position for Scott Allen?
Same, exactly the same. Like definitely him and Malin are kind of similar. Like, didn't have them defend. Just let them do the creative stuff. You've got guys behind you that can win the ball and give it to them.
We put up a GIF today of his pass. It was kind of like at the halfway line for Canberra's goal against Arbroath. It was brilliant. Great credit to Lewis Forfar, who kind of captured that. He was doing this stuff for Hibs TV goal side. It was great camera work, but obviously an even better pass. So we've said where you guys would play him. Where do you think Hecky will play him?
Who? Malin.
Scott Allen.
Aye, he's got to sit him right behind the strikers. Sit him there, Malin in the middle.
I know that's what you would do, but do you think Hecky will do that?
Well, if Hecky's got sense, then he'll listen to me.
Where do you say Hecky play him? Do you think Hecky might deploy him deeper? I know you were saying you wouldn't have him do that, but
I don't think that Heckingbottom's going to give him the free role that he's enjoyed at Hibs before. I think when when Heckingbottom and Alan first met, one of the things that he showed him was a video FaceTime at Rotherham.
Yeah.
When Barnsley absolutely battered them. So I think one of the things that you've maybe seen Fallon in the pre-season games and the League Cup games so far is just a wee bit more of a physical element to his game. He's definitely chasing down the ball. He's definitely trying to win it back and do more in the final third. Not just in the final third, like further down the pitch as well. So I think you're going to get more of a work rate, and I think you can see that Scott Allen's was even preparing for that, like as part of his, the Instagram pictures that you saw, and he was getting involved in, I don't know if it was yoga or Pilates or both, but he's definitely in really good shape, and he's definitely working harder for Hibs, and he's still got that creative element to his game, as you saw with the pass that he set up for Canberra's goal.
Yeah. So I mean, he's been setting up goals, and obviously he's been taking the penalties as well and scoring goals. So we reached out to FansBet, opening game of the season, Scott Allen's first game back. If you fancy him to score at any time and Hibs to win by 2 or more goals, the odds have been enhanced to 13-2. So aye, we'll put up more about that during the week and stuff. But yeah, we're it's great to be partnered. I can't say that word.
Partnered
Partnered with FansBet again. Thank you, Stephen, for the assist there.
Just like Scott Allen.
Yep. They've been a great partner so far, and kind of really got some exciting plans to do some stuff with them this year and stuff. So that's really exciting. So if you've got a favourite bookies, whoever it might be, we're not asking you to change bookies. If you wanted, that'd be great. But we're just sort of saying we're going to put up the enhanced odds for
just that you're a couple of things on the Hibs games with them.
Even just that, or the Hibs Talk specials that we'll put up. Make sure you're selected to Hibs Talk. We'll say we've got the Scotland one there, and we're going to ask on Twitter for suggestions for the second one, and we'll put that one up later in the week as well. So FansBet, check them out, and they've got a new app coming soon as well, which is good. So joining me now on the phone to go through the Elgin game is Billy. How you doing, Billy?
Not bad, Gav, yourself?
Yeah, good. So I mean, I thought it'd be good because I was obviously at the game with yourself up in Elgin, so thought it'd be good to have you on and sort of chat about the game. What time did you end up getting back at? Because I know it was quite late for a lot of people.
I didn't get until the back of 1. The North East Scotland bus dropped me off in Aberdeen, and then I had to drive back down to Carnoustie after that.
Right.
So yeah, but it was still a quicker journey than the folk that had to travel all the way back to Edinburgh.
I was I got to Aberdeen, and the 24-hour Starbucks went to there, and I was getting a coffee, and I was like, I'm tempted to look up a hotel. I wasn't sure whether I was going to make it or not, but I stuck with it and got back about the back of 2. So but definitely worth it. A good game. So we'll quickly run through the game. Few changes were made, the likes of Whittaker, McGregor and Deutsch returning to the starting 11. The first goal, too many players, obviously beneficial for us, the likes of the Elgin players giving up on it as well, but good to see Horgan and Newell not giving up on it despite the claims for a free kick.
Yeah, I mean, it was good seeing Newell attacking. I mean, the Elgin players did well to kind of win the ball off him, but they all switched off after that. So it was good to see Horgan being more alert than everybody else to win the ball and easy tapping for Newell.
Yeah, and really, there's no point in asking if it should have been a goal. We definitely should have had a second one. Hickey was quite frustrated with it after the game. Quite right to feel aggrieved.
Yeah, 100%. That Douglas Ross, there's less said about him the better. I think everyone has their own opinion of him, but yeah, apparently he did come out and apologise after it though and said he did get it wrong.
Yeah.
But I see a lot of people talking online saying that part of his constituency is got Elgin in it. So
right.
There's like a conflict of interest.
And I mean, that goal did come from Deutsch knocking it down and Canberra putting it over the line. How did you feel the two players linked up in the 4-4-2?
I think they did well. I thought Canberra at times was just his usual selfishness, but I think Deutsch had good movement. I mean, he almost scored an overhead kick at one point.
Aye.
But I think there was times where Flo was running into space and where he could have passed when he went for the shot. which was a bit disappointing. But I mean, there's definitely signs of a good partnership there. I just hope that we continue to see it.
And
I think that,
sorry, on you.
oh, sorry. I think that's the good thing with Canberra. I think he needs somebody next to him to kind of play off.
Mm-hmm.
And if we have like Allen, Malin, and Vila behind them, I can see them getting a lot of kind of through balls, that reverse pass up to them, and scoring goals for fun.
Yeah, just like that one against Arbroath from Allen for the halfway line, which was brilliant. And I mean, Canberra did get the second goal. What was your thoughts on the goal?
It was a good ball. So not a good ball, good goal. The rest of their players switched off from a throw-in. Canberra was alert. I mean, when they got the ball, there was still quite a lot to do. I mean, he scored from a really tight angle. So it was good to see him getting on the score sheet. But it wasn't as easy as it looked. Like I said, to get at the near post, the goalkeeper should have done maybe a bit better as well. But I'm sure Flo will be delighted to get on the score sheet after having one ruled out incorrectly.
And you mentioned Newell earlier on and his sort of driving forward, and obviously got his goal. Would you say that's his best performance? Just sort of even ignoring the goal, just on his performance overall, would you say that's the best we've seen Newell in a Hibs shirt?
Yeah, 100%. 100%. You can see he's getting match sharpness. I saw him at the Dunfermline game. I mean, we were both there, and he didn't look that great. And I think a lot of fans were starting to get on his back. But this game, definitely, 100%. He looked sharp, and he himself had a really good chance as well before Canberra took it off his toes. So I mean, he could have doubled his tally.
Yeah. And thoughts on Vela so far? I mean, it's the first time we've seen him playing a 4-4-2. He was against playing a sort of deeper role against Arbroath. But what's your kind of thoughts on him so far?
Just a tidy player. Wins the ball, doesn't do anything daft, doesn't look for the killer ball, leaves the rest of the guys to go for them. Just picks the ball up, does what's needed to be done. I think he's going to be a really good player for us. I don't think he's going to be quite the attacking player, but he'll do all the dirty work and let like Scott Allen be Scott Allen.
Yeah. And we've seen Marciano get the nod for this game in goals. Who do you think's winning the battle for the number one shirt?
See, this is where I have a bit of conflict and interest because I'm part of the North East Scotland Hibs, and we sponsor Maxwell's away top.
Mm-hmm.
So part of me wants to see Maxwell do really well, and when we get presented with a shirt at the end of the year, we can say it was our number one keeper. But if I'm being truthful, I would say Marciano is the best goalkeeper I've seen in my lifetime of being a Hibs fan. He's just superb. His distribution is sometimes questionable, but Rocky is just our best keeper, hands down. He
does what you need to do. He's probably up there in the top three goalkeepers in Scotland, I'd say, along with McGregor and Lewis. I think he's brilliant. Definitely should be number one for it, in my opinion. So something not that great to come out the game was Boyle going down. We still don't know the extent of the injury. Apparently he was away for a scan today. Talked to the guys about this earlier on. How impactful to Hibs would that be if Boyle was ruled out for a length of time?
Oh, it would be horrible for us. We'd probably have to dip into the transfer market again, and then it wouldn't exactly be one of our number one targets if we were to go for him. The worst thing about it is, I mean, I myself have suffered from really bad knee injuries. I tore my ACL when I was 16, and it took me ages to recover from that. So for see players like, I mean, Darren McGregor has had it in both knees, and then Boyle's on this. It's difficult to watch your players go through these kind of injuries, knowing that you've been through it yourself. I think with Boyle, the word is it's the same knee that he's just came back from. Is that right?
Yeah, that's what I've heard as well.
And I suppose the most positive thing you could probably take from it is he walked off the pitch.
Yeah.
You know, he was up and he was able. I mean, he looked distraught, but I think the fact that he got to his feet and was able to walk it off, or at least get through the back, is a positive sign. But I'm a bit worried, to be honest. I'm a bit worried.
Yeah, and just from a human point of view, obviously we really obviously from a selfish point of view, we want to see Ball in the team. He wants to be in the team, but from a human point of view, you don't really want to see a player go through that. They've just got back from injury. It'd be horrible to see him go through that again. So hopefully it's not that bad, and hopefully he's all right. But yeah, hopefully we'll get news from the scan in the next couple of days. And finally finishing up, Malin completed his fourth 90 minutes in the Cup. He's played all the Cup games. Definitely looks to be a big part of Hecky's plans.
Yeah, I think it's a strange one because even though Hecky signed him at Barnsley, he didn't play him much, and he was kind of out of favour down there. So for him to come here and Malin be what looks like his main man is quite surprising. But I rate Stevie Malin quite highly. I think he's class. Last season, I mean, if it wasn't for him, I think we could have finished a lot lower than we did, because he was at one point the only player scoring goals for us. And I think when it comes to Malin, I think having that confidence in him to let him go and play his game is exactly what Heckingbottom's done for him. And I just worry that when Scott Allen gets match sharpness, it's going to be Stevie that's going to drop out, because at the end of the day, Scott Allen's like the big playmaker, and Vila's Heckingbottom signing, and we can't play every midfielder we've got. So I think it might be Malin that gets the chop. What do you think?
I think it'll be. I mean, Hecky's kind of hinted at maybe playing two up top, and he's played it in a couple of games. But I think once we get up and going, I think it'll be one up top, two wingers, and I think I can see them both playing. Allen and Malin is the two sort of freed up midfielders with Villa sitting and letting them do their thing. Obviously there's competition for places, which is great. The likes of Slivka still to come back, and Newell could play in the central. Fraser Murray's been doing a job there. I'm probably missing somebody else out and stuff, so we've definitely got options in the middle of the park. But no, I'd say that's our strongest midfield three for those ones there. But yeah, we'll wait and see what happens, and definitely exciting to have that sort of competition for places and be able to have that chat. You know, we've definitely done well in the transfer business so far, so aye.
Yeah, and Stevie Malin, let's be honest, from set plays, whether it be corners or free kicks, he's an absolute threat. And he's mixing it up as well. I mean, at the Elgin game there, we all thought he was going to go for the top corner with his free kick, and he played it low and was really unlucky not to score.
And it's great to see, you know, he was talking about this today at the press conference, the fact that he's got Tom James sort of putting a bit of pressure on him with the free kicks, and they've both been doing some work with free kicks. But then likes the corners as well. Newell's been taking corners as well, so that kind of gives us options for delivery from set pieces. We've kind of got three options now. We were kind of over reliant on them from set pieces last season.
Yeah, I mean, we showed at the Arbroath away game as well. We don't always have to like whip the corners in. We scored an absolute peachy goal from a short corner against Arbroath. So I mean, it's good to see that that we're working on things in the training ground and catching teams off guard by the looks of things. You know, we're not always just going for pinging them in and top corners, free kicks.
And just to finish up, I mean, you mentioned it earlier on, you know, you were on the North East Scotland Hybe's bus. I'd never put this in the message to you and stuff, but I'll let you do a little plug. Anybody up in that area of Scotland, why should they join NESH?
Yeah, I mean, the NESH is absolutely fantastic. It started a couple of years ago. I mean, you've had Fraser on the show, and he discussed it in depth. Yeah. But we, for £2 a month as a paid member, you can get like kind of buses to most of the games. We're hoping to run a bus to every game this year, as long as there's a demand. If anybody wants to join, just search for us on Facebook at North East Scotland Hibs, or if you can go on Instagram or Twitter, it's just Nesh_Hibs. I run the Instagram and the Twitter page, so if anybody messages them, it'll be me they'll speak to, and I'll be able to fill them with as much information as I can. But yeah, we're a paid membership subscription for £2 a month. And I've been on pretty much most of the buses that we've ran, and what a laugh we have. Absolutely great.
That's brilliant.
I would really recommend it if you live in the area, you know, all the way from Dundee, all the way up to Aberdeen, Montrose, Brechin. If you're in that area, I would definitely give us a look. Brilliant,
good stuff. And finally, we'll do a little plug. I mean, you know, you done the season preview for us, the article for the website, just hibstalk.com/season-preview. We kind of asked everybody to kind of do a couple of lines, and you wrote, what was it, 900 words?
Yeah, I wasn't expecting to get into as much as I did, but yeah, it got me one article under my belt.
Aye, you wrote that much, we couldn't put it all in, so we just put it in one article, and but no, it was good. So this, if you've not checked it out yet, check that out. So yeah, so thanks for taking the time to come on and chat to us about the Elgin game, Billy.
No worries, Gav, thanks for having me.
Cheers.
See you, man. Bye.
Okay, so we're going to finish up with your guys' questions. Stephen, I'm not reading out your question. You know why you're called Joffrey. Just deal with it. First question is from Zach the Doug. Talking about Boyle potentially being out, we kind of spoke about this earlier on, and potentially, do you think we'll dip our toes back into the transfer market if need be?
No. We've got plenty cover there. We've got Newell, Mackey, Tom James, especially if we pay 3 at the back. There's definitely people that can cover, and that's even if Boyle is injured.
Yeah.
I think we'd just be throwing good money after bad if we try to get someone else in.
And Fraser Murray, although he's been kind of playing quite central in the game so far, can definitely play it wide as well, so we'll definitely think that's an option.
Cracking wee player.
Stephen, next question is from Pure Football. Good podcast, check it out. Which Hibs player has the best haircut?
Malin.
Is it?
It's definitely no Malin. He's got a terrible barnet. He's got terrible eyebrows. I need to get that in there. Darren McGregor. He's just beautiful. Hair, beard, face, physique, strip, everything about him.
Aye, I'm loving the daily Darren now that Hibs are doing.
Aye,
it's great.
The fan interaction actually between the Hibs account and the fans is really, really good. Except for me, they just ignore me all the time because I tweet a lot of nonsense.
So next question we've got is from Cabbage0762. When do you think we'll hear from Ron again? I think he's in the States now, but hoping they can get over for the first game.
Aye, definitely. I think. I don't know. Season opener's like a big thing. Like every year, like everyone should be there. Like for the management, chairman, all the way down to like the ground staff, everyone should be there. Like especially the owner, he should be there.
Counter-attacking game have asked if you could have 2 Hearts players and play them this week, who would you pick? We kind of talked about their best signings, but can you think of 2 Hearts players that you'd have?
Halkett.
Can you think of a second?
A second Halkett.
2 players you'd have?
None of them.
Fair enough. Sorry, counter-attacking game. You're a good game, but we're not answering your question. What's going on with our best formation this season in our current squad? You two sort of said you feel it should be 3-5-2.
It's logical now.
Right. And that question was from Dino C 1988, or Dean Clements. And Liam Fogarty, if we play one up front this season, who will start? It's a good question.
Hibs shouldn't play one up front.
But if we do,
but if we had to, it would probably be. I'd go for Canberry just for his probably his athleticism. Doidge looks a little bit like Stephen Fletcher in terms of physique, but he's not got the same. He's not got the same ability. He's definitely a big awkward striker. Canberry's got more movement about him. So aye.
Who would you go for if you're playing one up top?
Canberry.
Fair enough.
But no is a target man.
Doidge just reminds me of NESH.
What's wrong with Colin NESH? We had this conversation weeks ago. Colin NESH scored goals.
Exactly. I'm not saying it's a bad thing.
Doidge hasn't fallen over yet.
Still time.
So Patrick Roberts is asking, when's the new striker coming? I guess like we've said, that's going to be when somebody leaves.
Is that the boy that plays for Celtic?
I was about to say, where's Paddy now?
Aye.
Always knew he was a Hibs fan.
So I know you guys kind of saying when in our striker and drinking, that'll only be if somebody leaves on what heck he said, or do you not believe him? Drink will bring in somebody regardless.
Need to. I'd put Shaw on loan, get another striker.
Fair enough.
If that's what it takes to get another striker.
Fraser Henderson, who does NESH, the North East Scotland Highbees, which I was talking to Billy about. Why are so many Hibs fans like Coiled Springs waiting for a poor result of our performance so they can criticise Hecky? It seems.
Gav!
Sorry, that's the timer for the camera. Last time, it seems like he can't win with a section of the support. Do you think that's true? There's some supporters that just are desperate for managers to fail so they can jump on their back.
Maybe in general, like it was weird because obviously Heckingbottom finished and Hibs finished really well last year, to then suddenly have like a couple of like poor pre-season results, to then go like he's not doing the work, he's not getting it right. I don't know. Like, do you know? I think part of it is the fact that it's still like people are still in summer holiday mode, and they're probably just looking for something to talk about. Like, I don't think people are like genuinely thinking that Heckingbottom's not the right man for the job.
Do you think there's a portion of support that were very much behind Lennon, and are kind of whoever the next man was, because Lennon was quite loved by a section of support?
There's one word for it: fickle.
Fair enough.
But that's the thing though, and this is where opinion's great, right? Because I completely disagree with what John says there, in the fact that he says that Heckingbottom had a good finish to last season. I thought that we had a terrible finish to last season.
The last 5 games, yeah.
Not even that though, and I made this point at the end of last season and the start of this season, was the fact that in all the games against top 6 opposition, we won 1 against Hearts away. Never won a single game at home against a top 6 team under Hecky. And It's not a bad thing. It's a learning curve. Had half a season, but that's the games that we're going to need to win this season to finish top 3, top 4, get a Europe place.
Do you know what I'd say about that, Stephen?
Fickle.
You're fickle. Next question is from Kevin Urquhart, who's said the performance looks like the players have a good flow together. Test will come though. More optimism about it. Are you happy with the starting team to sort of come looking like it's coming together? Kind of spoke about that. We kind of said about the being prepared for St Mirren. You pleased with where we're at now?
Aye.
Everyone getting minutes.
Everyone's got minutes. There's definitely versatility in the squad there that's not really been there before. I think when Hibs played maybe 3-5-2 previously, it was just like players playing all over the place, like filling positions, whereas I think we've actually got players for positions now that can play a number of different ways. And
versatile players that can play in different positions as well, like you alluded to earlier on, which is great. Why didn't you guys read out my name last week on the question? That was from Callum Chambers. So Callum Chambers,
Callum Chalmers.
Callum Chalmers, sorry.
Chalmers.
It's alright, Callum, I've got your back.
Callum Chalmers, I'm very sorry I didn't read your name out last week, Callum Chalmers. Sorry about that, Callum
Or
Chalmers.
get it right this week.
And sorry I got it wrong as well. And finally, last question, what do you guys make of the Fraser Hornby rumours? We kind of touched on that at the start. We'll kind of wait and see what comes for that, but aye. So we'll finish up there. Thanks guys for coming along. Thanks for Billy for talking about East Fife earlier on. And if you enjoyed this, make sure you subscribe on either Spotify.
Talking about East Fife?
Aye.
Why was he talking about East Fife? Elgin,
aye. That's because we're talking about that earlier on. Aye. Just East Fife, just I don't know why, but they're just on my mind at the moment. They must have done something really spectacular recently. They're on my mind. Oh well, I don't know why that is. But anyway,
if I could take back one former Hibs player, it would be Aaron Dunsmore.
He definitely celebrated that penalty.
He enjoyed that goal.
Good man, Aaron. Well, and anyway, we're going to finish up there. Thanks a lot for coming along, guys. Thanks, Billy, for talking about Elgin. If you enjoyed this, make sure you subscribe on wherever you get your podcasts and follow us at HFC Talk on all the social medias and stuff. We'll be back next week. Bye.
I hope he's having a good night. I got tonic wine on my mind. I'll share it with these friends of mine. You know we're having a good time. You know we're having a good night. I got tonic wine on my mind. It's that guy.